Good morning, laddies. My name is Chad, and welcome to the What If Upchuck Was in My Hero Academia? And I'm trying to, go back to the kind of, roots things, but I like the to do stuff like this. Like, I know the Upchuck is a cute mascot thing for Ben Tennyson, but I thought about this way long time ago. If he was human in, My Hero Academia universe. So, and the reason why I put him in it is because I want to see if, because there's no, except for Momo and that, give me a moment to find, there's only two people that I could think of that could eat and use their stomach, or their quirks. So, this man right here and Momo. So I decided, how about we add someone more to to it? But instead, I chose a alien that could eat their entire world if he wants to. And I'm also adding the world's most dangerous girl as death. Yeah. From a Kami Gets Kills. AKA Kami Gets Kills. That's, yeah, universe. Reason why is because in this alternate timeline, she already met the upchuck. Or let's begin. So yeah, upchuck was born, and then at age of 3, he meets this younger as death. They start hanging out, but like, her father wasn't in this alternate timeline. Her father isn't so strict on her, on push herself to limits like what an Endeavor is. But yeah, so every single day, or every single time that he or that she sees him, she wants him to be her boyfriend thing. So yeah, and reason why I made him skinny instead of his chunky form is because not very many people have the chunkiness. So yeah, basically when at age of 4 he gets his quirk checked and he has Planet Eater. So it's pretty useless for the many other things. But the but his ability is not useless. He can eat the the entire layer thing you in one single bite. Yeah. And shoot it out like a rocket. So then, yeah. As a, most people find that disgusting. And that's why no one hangs out with him. Except for Ezeth. Because she does not care if he had a disgusting power. And the tongue that you see before you, this part right here, he actually has 3 tongues. So, sorry about that. Yes. So, or let's say he has 5 tongues. He just used one to be like, okay. So then, and then doesn't know that he has 5 tongues. That can reach up to, like, just imagine from, if you were standing outside and his tongue can't, or like, imagine you're standing outside looking at the neighbors and you use your 5 tongues. All of them could go surpass 3,000 houses. Yeah. That's how long his tongues are. He could reach all the way from the top of the building all the way to, yeah. So then, so now it was UA. Time skip to 15. As death is more like, or during all that time, and upchuck grew close to each other's. AK every time that he does something and like protects her, it makes her love for him even deeper. Like how deep? World will never know. So then he was in yeah. So he was in, yeah. So now he trained without her because he doesn't. So when he opens his mouth, all of the tongues came out and grabs a old car. Sorry. The old car. That's all beaten up and ready to use as scrap metal. But he used it. Because his tongue is strong. So one of his tongues could lift the entire building up. So he picks up the car and swallows it. Or eats it. His stomach grew so big, like a normal size. As he turned to face the target that he set up, as he spits, and it was, yeah. So then now 15. So they go to UA. She got the highest points thing in the, yeah. So she ends up being in class 1A. And for him, he is in now class 1B. But they did not know that he can eat the entire world. Because his stomach, he could eat like anything. I mean anything. So, yeah. Basically, during the ball throw, because he was pretty far away from Blood Hero, so as he uses one of his tongues to grab the ball, as they're like, man, as they thought that was his only tongue. As he threw the ball hard, as the like a normal human. And then Blood Hero asked him, now try to use your quirk. Okay. As he used his, he swallows the, as they're like, dude, that's not what he meant. As he shoots it out, like he spits it out. And it was infinity. I wasn't, or I was aware of that. As I told him, like, man, and as some of the people are like trying to figure out what does his quirk do. And he says, huh, I might be useless in some situations, but that's okay. As they asked him that, of so then he tells them that he has Planet Eater. As he weren't laughing, as they thought it was like a they never heard of a Planet Eater. The guy he, he, this guy right here, this one right here, he ends up like laughing like haha. I think really. You know, I could just eat the moon and we'll be done. Thing. And he ends up kind of feels bad. He doesn't, because how they are treating him. Like, he doesn't, or they don't, they didn't understand what his powers are. And plus at UA, or no, at Heroes versus Villains, as he the he decides to basically, let's say he was working with Mushroom Girl. Oh. And against the copy quirk and the Rinko. Yeah. Because they, he, or everyone treats him like from class 1B, treats him as a outsider. That, but of course, only person that he cares about uh, is Esdeath. So in class 1A, let's say Mina decides, because Mina was as Death's partner, and the as Death, of course, Mina decides to do like something crazy, like she literally tells her that love out of all the schools, or out of. And she's blushing because she knows who she's gonna pick. And Mina doesn't know what she's gonna pick, so that's why. As the Mina was doing like her, like, come on, tell me. It's quite boring when. As Zuko, who, or, like, they did not know who she fell in love with. Well, but only she knows who she fell in love with. Is, of course, upchuck. So now, yeah, as he just wants to end the suffering thing, but he knows that as death won't allow him, because she cares about him so much, as that kept him going. But a thought of losing her in a like terrible thing will break him. Yeah. That's why. So Zuko or so that's why. So then she decides to do like her thing. So now it was I'm skipping the USJ name as okay, or let's say class 1A and 1B was in or goes to USJ, working together as she ends up like on the bus. She decides to like put her head on his shoulders, like as the class 1B students are and class A finds that weird, except for Mina. Give me a moment to find so Mina right here, she thinks she knows the answer why that Ezeth always hangs around with him. So yeah. So then, but in this alternate timeline, the villain kidnapped a special device that will like destroy space, time, reality, everything. It was similar to I couldn't find a good one. But yeah. So the one, it was in a container, and sorry for the long wait. I was trying to find in the what it was, because one, it is this, it's like the core that Ben 10 has in his hand, and with inside of this big spear. It was from season 4. I think episode was called Negative 10 thing. So, yeah, nearly Ben beats up no, all of the like villains, and he does beat up the Forever King. So, yeah. So, the then the yeah. So that is like their bomb thing. So only person that saw them putting it down and armed it was Upchuck. And he wasn't dumb. I'm making him like super smart in this what if. So he ends up seeing it as he used one of his tendrils to grab the Nomu, throws him out as he tells, "Can you walk?" As she, or as he tells Eraserhead, says, "Can you see?" No, but you're, well, if you could see, you know we will be in such danger right now. So, as Girl and the grapefruit asked why, as he points to the device that's been placed on the floor, as that's a that's the bomb that could take out the entire world. It's a dwarf star. Her. As everyone knows what it is in this what if. It's powerful enough to explode the entire world. Um so Zuko or so then they ended up like, we need to evacuate now. As all the pro heroes or all the students grabbed Mr. Aizawa and 13, and they all start running away, except for Upchuck. He's literally standing like, imagine if you were standing right next to your wall. And Class 1B doesn't care. And as they mean and out of there, but the he Azeth is looking around for him, but he was still inside. And yeah, so she wanted to go back in, but the Mr. Aizawa tells her not to. Oh. As everybody's like so worried about her, or them, or her specifically, then they didn't even care about what happens to Upchuck. Except for Ezra, because she says that Upchuck's in there. And you're not allowing me to come in as, yeah. So then the villains also escaped. And yeah. There was only 4 seconds on the clock thing, counting down. But Upchuck ate that. Like, he swallowed it whole. And it exploded, but nothing happened in the surrounding areas. As he grew, boom. Or not really boom, it's just he could not believe. As he looks like a giant-sized ball. Oh, like the bouncy ball. So, he ends up basically going all out. As he's trying to, because his body, like, just imagine him not like exploding, but he rolls around as everyone thought they were dead. But nope, nothing happened. As when they were trying to so All Might walks in, or no, not walks in, but when he opens the door, he sees someone's face. As it was Upchuck's. Because how big he is. As, yeah. As every single one of them, is like, man, what happened to you? As the Class 1A aim was like, or as Death says, alright, I know what to do. Or, Upchuck, can you like, look at the ceiling part? I know that you can do it. Just kind of hole through the top, and then you will belch it out. Okay? So, as they all thought she was crazy, but then when she actually did it, he moves his head up, and he does that. And, like, he literally, the attack, or his own, when he burped it all out, he shrunk back down to the normal size. Yeah. Then he ends up like, man, my stomach. I mean, as the pro heroes, like, Woodsman, and every pro hero that came, they're like, is there anything hurting? Or, yeah, my stomach. Oh. As Zuko, or as everybody's like, other than your stomach. Nope, nothing. As they see no scratch marks, no nothing. Only thing that really hurt was as they know that his arm got twisted. So, but there's one thing. Once he puts it back, hold on, as it popped back into place, as when he did that, he screamed louder than it almost braked everyone's eardrums. That's how loud he is. Or actually, it just fell off after. So he used one of his tongues to lift it up, and he ate it. As it reattached itself, like grew a new arm. As everyone thinks that's weird, but one guy, let's say this guy right here, knows that about upchuck. So, yeah. And yeah. So he grew the new arm. And yeah, Zuko ended up, or not Zuko, upchuck ended up, like, saving the entire world. And you know what the Class 1B did? They just ignored him. They just wanted to be like, oh, let's be all fancy pants things. Let's care about each other's. Except for him. We don't care about him. As upchuck feels like he's getting punished for it. And he kind of feels sad about it. As he is just like what As is doing, or younger version, during lunch. He's always been like outside, away from everybody. His because no, to his mind, it's the Class 1B treats him as dirt. He has nothing against Ezeth. It's just as she's like trying to look around for him, as she sees him sitting in underneath a tree, away from like everyone, as she could tell that he is in kind of upset mood because the way that he's positioning, he or so and one of the jerks from Class 1B wants, or let's say it was him, says that he, he was like, he ends up saying like he is or like they were talking crud about him as Death doesn't tolerate the someone talking smack about his her friend like that. Or as you know what she did? She used her ice abilities to freeze every student except for Class 1A. And yeah, so the Class 1B students, they all got frozen. Yeah. So Zuko ended up, or only people that know that doesn't like make any like talk smack about the friends. Or yeah, so she didn't want anyone to talk smack about them. So she walks over and she knows that he is, when he's silent, he's still kinda upset at the Class 1B. As she walks a little bit closer, sat down with him, and had some lunch. As the blood hero, oh, or so they came. They came. Or actually, it was time for them to go back to class. Well, the students from Class 1B, except for Upchuck, was frozen. Like, basically, they can never move ever again. So then, he walks to class as Blood Hero's like, what happened to the rest? or actually, as Blood Hero, based off of what he looks like, or Blood Hero looks at upchuck and can tell that they're not picking, or they're not like, or they are being jerks to him. So Blood Hero says, "What's wrong?" Well, those students or the classmates are, I don't feel like I fit the into this class, or any other class. But my power, my quirk, seems useless. As Blood Hero looks at um, him, and he says, "Your powers aren't useless. Heck, thanks to you, actually, being you actually saved the world. Because heck, you who stared death in the face and you told it you will not die, and you devoured it, and and because none of us had that ability. So why do you say that?" Or actually, he knows why. As back of his mind, he says, "I'm so gonna punish those students and so the students that were in that was still in the lunchroom that was frozen, of course, all of them were de-thawed after, and then they ended up getting yelled at by the Blood Hero. And please wait for part 2 to come out. So